Hello and welcome to National Geographic and Mind-Blowing Documentary. Today, we're journeying back in time to meet one of our closest, yet most mysterious ancient relatives. Who were the Neanderthals? For centuries, they've been misunderstood, often painted as brutish, dim-witted cavemen. But is that accurate? Recent discoveries are completely rewriting their story, revealing a level of sophistication and humanity that was once thought impossible. Join us as we uncover the truth about these remarkable people, exploring their lives, their culture, and their ultimate fate. By the end of this journey, your perception of Neanderthals will be changed forever. Imagine a world blanketed in ice, a harsh and unforgiving landscape. It was in this world, across Europe and parts of Asia, that the Neanderthals thrived for hundreds of thousands of years. They were not our direct ancestors but a distinct lineage of archaic humans that diverged from our own path long ago. Physically, they were built for the cold, shorter and stockier than modern humans. With a broad chest and powerful limbs, their bodies were perfectly adapted to conserve heat. Their faces were also distinct, featuring a prominent brow ridge, a large nose, and a receding chin. This robust physique was a testament to their resilience in a challenging environment. They were master survivors, finely tuned to the rhythms of the Ice Age. For a long time, the prevailing image was of a primitive hunter relying on brute force. But the archaeological record tells a far more nuanced story. Neanderthals were incredibly skilled hunters. They didn't just scavenge. They actively pursued large and dangerous prey like mammoths, woolly rhinos, and giant deer. How do we know this? We've found their specialized hunting tools, like the Schningen spears, masterfully crafted wooden javelins, balanced for throwing. This implies not just strength, but also incredible planning, communication, and teamwork. A mammoth hunt wasn't a chaotic free-for-all. It required a coordinated group effort, a deep understanding of animal behavior, and the ability to strategize. They were the apex predators of their time, a position earned through intelligence and skill, not just brawn. Their tool-making ability, known as the Mousterian industry, showcases their ingenuity. They would carefully select high-quality stones like flint and meticulously shape them into a variety of tools. This wasn't just about banging rocks together. They used a sophisticated technique called the levallois method, which involved preparing a coarse stone to strike off a perfectly shaped flake with a single, precise blow. It's like having a blueprint in your mind before you even start. These weren't just simple scrapers. They created points for spears, blades for cutting meat and hides, and tools for woodworking. Each tool was designed for a specific purpose, demonstrating a level of cognitive foresight and technical skill that was once thought to be exclusive to modern humans. Their toolkit was their survival kit, and they were master craftsmen. But what about their inner lives? Did Neanderthals have a culture? The evidence is increasingly pointing to yes. One of the most profound indicators is their treatment of the dead. At sites like Shanidar Cave in Iraq and La Chapelle aux Saints in France, we've found Neanderthal skeletons that appear to have been deliberately buried. Some graves even contain hints of ritual. At Shanidar, pollen analysis initially suggested that one individual was buried with flowers, a concept known as the flower burial. While this specific interpretation is now debated, the fact remains that these were not random disposals. The act of burial itself implies a concept of death, a sense of loss, and a respect for the deceased. It suggests they cared for each other, not just in life, but after life as well. This is a deeply human trait. Their capacity for care extended to the living too. We have discovered skeletons of elderly Neanderthals and individuals who had suffered severe injuries but lived on for years afterward. One famous example is the old man of La Chapelle, who lived to an old age despite having debilitating arthritis and having lost most of his teeth. He couldn't have survived alone. He would have needed others to process his food and care for him. This tells us that Neanderthal groups weren't just a collection of individuals focused on their own survival. They formed strong social bonds, looked after the weak and infirm, and demonstrated a profound sense of compassion and empathy. They were a community. And what about art and symbolism? For a long time, this was considered the final frontier, the one thing that truly separated us from them. But even that wall is crumbling. In caves in Spain, archaeologists have discovered abstract paintings on the wall's lines, dots, and hand stencils that date back to 65,000 years ago. That's a full 20,000 years before modern humans are thought to have arrived in the region. The only people who could have made them were Neanderthals. We've also found eagle talons that were notched and worn as jewelry, and shells that were perforated and covered in pigment, likely worn as pendants. This isn't just decoration, it's symbolic thought. It's the ability to assign meaning to an object, to communicate an idea, to express identity. It's the dawn of art. So if they were so intelligent and adaptable, where did they go? The disappearance of the Neanderthals around 40,000 years ago is one of the greatest mysteries in human prehistory. There isn't one simple answer. It was likely a combination of factors. One major element was the arrival of our own species, Homo sapiens, who expanded out of Africa and into Neanderthal territories in Europe. This may have led to competition for resources, for food, for shelter, for the best hunting grounds. Modern humans had slightly different technologies, larger social networks, and perhaps a higher birth rate, which could have given them a competitive edge over thousands of years. Climate change also played a significant role. The period when Neanderthals were disappearing was one of extreme climate instability, with rapid and dramatic shifts between cold and warm periods. While Neanderthals had survived climate fluctuations before, this particular phase was exceptionally volatile. It may have disrupted the ecosystems they relied on, making their traditional hunting strategies less effective. Their populations, already small and spread thin, might have struggled to adapt to these rapid changes, pushing them closer to the brink. But their story doesn't end with extinction. Perhaps the most mind-blowing discovery of all comes from our own DNA. Genetic sequencing has revealed that most modern humans with ancestry outside of Africa carry between 1 and 4% Neanderthal DNA. This means that our ancestors didn't just live alongside Neanderthals. They met, interacted, and had children together. These were not two completely separate, hostile species. There were moments of connection, of interbreeding. The Neanderthals may have vanished as a distinct population, but a small part of them lives on in us today. Their genetic legacy is woven into the very fabric of our humanity, influencing everything from our immune systems to our skin's reaction to sunlight. So, who were the Neanderthals? They were not the hunched, grunting brutes of popular caricature. They were skilled hunters, clever toolmakers, and compassionate community members who cared for their sick and buried their dead. They had the capacity for symbolic thought and artistic expression. They were survivors, adapted to a harsh world, who thrived for hundreds of thousands of years. Their story is a powerful reminder that our human family tree is complex and diverse, and that we still have so much to learn about our ancient relatives. They are a part of our own story, a lost branch of humanity whose legacy endures within our very own genes. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey back in time. We hope we've changed the way you see our ancient cousins. If you found this documentary fascinating, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to National Geographic and Mind-Blowing Documentary for more deep dives into the mysteries of our world and its past. Share this video with anyone who loves history and science. And most importantly, let us know in the comments what you thought and what topic you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.